Hello, I'm Brian Roten, senior reporter for Hotel News Now, and I'm here with Tiffany Cooper, head of development for the Americas for Mandarin Oriental, here on the last day of the Americas Lodging Investment Summit. Tiffany, thank you so much for being here for us. I think first time that we've had you on the podcast, so really glad to have you here.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much for having me and Mandarin Oriental.
Yeah. So just to get things kicked off, let's start. Can you give us a brief overview of some of the latest, projects and developments from Mandarin Oriental in the Americas?
Sure. So we just announced our beautiful project in Puerto Rico this week, which is going to be an amazing, luxurious resort with branded residential units. We also, earlier this year, announced Grand Cayman, which we will be breaking ground on this year, as well as Riviera Maya in Mexico. So some really fantastic properties. And I should mention, we are redeveloping our Miami property. So we currently are in Brickell. We will be closing that property in 2005 for redevelopment into 2 towers, hotel and branded residential, and that will be opening in 2030.
All right. So let's take a deeper dive into the some of your latest projects. So when coming into these, what's the goal with these as Mandarin Oriental is looking to expand further into the Americas?
Sure. So, Mandarin Oriental is this iconic, beloved brand that's been around since 1961. We began in Hong Kong and we've grown since then. We have 41 properties in 26 countries, and we have another 12 standalone branded residential units. The company's looking to grow and double the portfolio over the next 10 years, and we're well on our way to that. So we have 29 properties in the pipeline. We'll be opening 5 hotels this year and 1 standalone branded residential property. So we're well on our way to hit our growth plans. And so for me and for the Americas, the emphasis now is to, take this amazing luxury brand and see where we can plot out points on the map with a laser focus on the U.S., but looking at markets in Mexico and Canada, going south really down to Rio. The Caribbean is a huge focus. Obviously, we already have a bit of a footprint there, and we're growing.
So looking at the different countries that you have as options, and breaking that down further into the markets, what are the market conditions? What are the areas? What are the factors that you're looking at? And I realize it may vary, country by country, market by market. But what are you looking at that makes this yes, this is a prime location for us?
Yeah, I think it has to be a location that can deliver a true luxury experience. It has to be a location that's in demand for our luxury guests, as well as a location that could achieve a luxury ADR premium. And as you look across the map, I've been working on my target markets for both the U.S. and for LATAM, and there's several markets we're not in. So we have a huge runway of opportunity that we can grow in. We're currently in Boston, New York, and I mentioned Miami, but there's lots of markets in the Western U.S., whether that's Los Angeles, where we sit today, the Bay Area. I'm always long on San Francisco. I love San Francisco.
It's
I think
a wonderful city.
It's just a matter of time before it comes back. So I'm going to be excited to look at things there. Dallas and Chicago. So really in the U.S., there's lots of open market availability, provided that the dynamics work on financing. Now, the benefit to Mandarin and being in the luxury space is that we have branded residential units. So that obviously is a huge benefit to being able to get these projects to pencil, having that residential sale can subsidize a project. And so the branded residential market is growing. Year over year, there's about a 20% growth along the sector. And then the luxury sector itself is growing 11% year over year. So it's actually a really good time to be in luxury development. And so it's just a matter of doing what we do in development, which is following breadcrumbs, speaking with developers, scouring markets, and finding the right deal. I mean, for us, we want growth, but we want smart strategic growth, and that's what I'm mostly focused on.
That was actually one of my questions I had for you. Just looking at the branded residence component of it, just how key is it to get to have that as part of your project, to get it to pencil, just knowing what the overall development environment is like. Obviously, Mandarin Oriental has a good reputation, but lenders are doing what they're doing, so it's just just that extra demand generation that's enough.
It's so important, and there's a growing market for just the standalone branded residences, which is different from the traditional way of you build a hotel and you throw some branded residential units atop the hotel. So we can really flex and look at both. Conversions are wonderful, but they're not always as easy to find, especially in the U.S. I mean, internationally, have these, incredible, grand dames that you can convert. We're going to be converting the Hotel Lucia in Paris. We're going to be converting the Conservatorium in Amsterdam. Amazing properties, amazing conversions. The U.S., it's a little bit more challenging to find those conversion opportunities. So you typically will, construct and build. So with every new project that I'm looking at, there's some kind of branded residential. And we have incredible experience. We've been in this space for 25 years. So there's a lot of kind of new entrants into the space, but we've been doing this for a really long time. Started in New York. We have a very sophisticated and experienced team. So we're able to flex, and we have great case studies that show that our brand demands and commands rate premiums, as well as velocity of sales. So we were able to have some pretty good comps that we can share, and we can also grow into markets with the best product with the highest price per square foot, which we've done in London. We're doing that in several locations.
Another question I was going to ask, just as you're looking to grow here in the Americas, just the strategy of new build versus conversion versus adaptive reuse.
All of the above. Yes. I guess yes, and yes. Let's go. Adaptive reuse, we love those. We love a conversion. I mean, being able to walk into a property and do a rebranding. There are just not as many in the luxury space. And for us, we want growth. Again, it just has to be strategic. It has to be the right properties in the right market. And I'm acutely aware that, the projects that we do are so important because it's going to lead the way to additional organic growth for the brand. So I take that very seriously.
Understandably so. So, just looking at, as you have all these projects that are lined up, and it's a years long process, obviously, from pencil to paper to cutting the ribbon. But as you're planning ahead and knowing guest expectations, guest demands, change over time, as you look to 25 and you look to years beyond, what does luxury mean now? What do guests want from?
That's a great question.
Luxury.
And there's generational changes.
Absolutely.
Right. So the way people have vacation traditionally, whether the boomers, the Xers, which I'm a part of the Xer generation, is just different than how the millennials are going to vacation.
That's me.
There you go. So, the days I think of the guys going to golf and the women going to the spa, or that's changed. And so, being able to look at those kind of trends in terms of how families vacation together, how couples vacation together, what they want. There's a huge emphasis for Mandarin, especially on sustainability and making sure we leave the place better than we found it. And so we take that really to heart. But I also think there's a change from that opulent luxury, which more traditional brands, people say ultra luxury brands have played in, and it's moving to a little bit more of an understated luxury, where people want, obviously we've heard people want experiences, but I think they want authentic connection. They want authentic connection with our team. They want authentic connection with the community and the locale of where they're going, and they want to be conscious citizens. They want to, this conscious vacationing where you can do good in the community. Maybe you're planting trees, maybe you're interacting with the community, and our teams are, and our culture are we train our people to feel completely empowered to connect with the guests and to deliver these exceptional experiences. So Mandarin, what I'm so impressed with Mandarin, and I've only been there for a few months, but I'm so impressed with how consistent the service is. And so, hotels may be beautiful, but ultimately I think the basics are true. It comes down to the people and being able to deliver these authentic connections. And that has become so much more important than just having, this kind of opulent space.
So with that in mind, then, I'm curious, as you are planning out these future projects, how does that influence the design of the hotels that you have in your pipeline?
Yeah, I think the partners that we choose are so important, being able to pull in local partners as well as people that are experienced in placemaking, and viewing everything through the lens of locale, and so you don't feel like you're in the same, you're in the same city. Like, you genuinely, if you're in Mexico, you have that authentic, beautiful Mexican hospitality. If you're in Dallas, you have that, that Texas hospitality. And so you don't want to force anything. You want to make sure that you can really kind of allow the location to unfold more organically. So it's not forced. It has to feel authentic.
Yeah, you definitely want to have a feeling of real as opposed to, well, this was put here just because.
Yeah, or it's it's in a brand kit somewhere and it's checking boxes. We never want to check boxes. We want to look at every project through the lens of creativity and what's going to be lasting too. Not what's trendy today, but what's going to be lasting over the over however many decades.
Absolutely. And just looking at just in general the luxury segment, what is your expectation then for the travelers here, for just the other hotels that are operating in this area? What do you think we're gonna see in 25 and beyond?
Yeah, I think again, I mentioned sustainability. I think sustainability is really important, and I think the luxury sector is maybe focused on that a little bit more than other sectors, and I think that's a good thing. Wellness is huge, and how people relate to wellness in terms of not just going to the gym or getting a massage, but really how do they learn a lifestyle? How can they take a lifestyle home with them and then build upon that? So there's a little bit of an education in the experience of it, which I think is really fun, that you can go somewhere and you can take something back with you that could be life-changing.
Absolutely. And it is so interesting to see how in the last, I'll say 10 years or so, because that's how long I've been paying attention to it, but just how that the definition and what's included in this concept of wellness has just broadened so much and has offered so many new opportunities.
Yeah, and wellness also, we're known for amazing spas, but wellness doesn't have to be someone going to the spa or going to the fitness center. It could be something like a nightly ritual that you do in your room that the hotel has prepared for you. Whether that's, some kind of meditation or kind of tea ceremony. So there's a lot of different ways you can kind of pull that through and, kind of having better sleep patterns. And I think there's a kind of a lot of research that's being done on that space. And, we do sell sleep at the end of the day, right? I mean, some of us, it's more luxurious than other, but that's part of what we do.
Absolutely. Well, Tiffany, thank you so much for being here with us today. This was, a lot of fun and great getting to talk to you. And thank all of you for listening. Stick with Hotel News Now for further coverage from the conference.
Hi, I'm STR's Isaac Colazo.
And I'm co-stars Jan Freitag. And together we are the data geeks behind Tell Me More, a hospitality data podcast on the Hotel News Now podcast network.
Every month, we bring you a fresh take on the latest hotel data, insights into the travel trends behind that performance, and the big picture topics you should be thinking about.
And we also don't mind getting into some good-natured disagreement from time to time. Hey, when Isaac and I start talking data together, anything can happen. And it usually does.
Find us on hotelnewsnow.com and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen. Search for Hotel News Now, and thank you for listening.
This episode of the Hotel News Now podcast network was recorded on January 30th, 2025 by Brian Roten and edited by Rachel Dodd.